Beloved, this is the Culture on Camaraderie podcast, the most thought-provoking, introspective, industrious, and creative discussion we are giving to you on a Monday, recorded on a Saturday. I didn't need to tell you that, but yeah, it's me, Damilare, aka NY Typical, and
what's good, Laxira, Tyler, Edwards,
Tyvarious.
Co-host.
Your name is Tyvarious.
Tyvarious, of course.
Yes.
Sorry, I forgot about the Tyvarious.
Yes, we are.
Tyvarious.
If you even know where
The
either of those names derive from, then you understand.
But they won't. I
You
think the
understand?
only person who would know now is maybe Reki. He's probably the last person,
Damn,
which is a fact.
those names are relics of a lost time.
They are, mate. It's
Ah.
mud.
I didn't think we were gonna start this set. This nostalgic, but okay.
Oh, whoa, we got loud there. Whoa.
I'll just spell lax error though.
LAX_ERA.
Yes. All right then. Calm. We can start with
Cool,
topics.
man.
We can just start.
Well, yeah,
How was your week then?
I like doing this. Find out. Yeah, do you know what,
catch
man?
up.
For me, this has been a cool week.
Mm.
It's been a busy week.
Technically, I don't actually talk to Tyler throughout the week, but we did actually have a conversation. Was it yesterday? No, it wasn't yesterday because I was asleep yesterday. But on Thursday, we had an actual conversation like this one, or like our other podcast, but like it was on the phone.
But that's why we started this, isn't it? Because of those fun conversations.
But yeah.
Sick.
This week was industrious.
Mm-hmm.
I found a job. Well, I didn't find a job.
Oh, okay.
I found something that I can do, and and soon it will get me paid enough for
bear its fruits
in time for the event at the end of September. So
Sick, man.
like I'll definitely have enough peas for the free champagne, basically. Like I really like.
Cash
I was
money.
gonna do chicken and champagne, but I think
Chicken and
that's
champagne.
just the next level. Like the chicken and champagne will be the next level.
That sounds like a segment, don't it?
You know, the
Chicken and
C's, you
champagne.
feel me? That's the C's.
Wow.
It's the C's, the double C's, fam. What's that called? You know, I love my alliteration, fam. So yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Awesome.
This was a hard week. Like I said yesterday, I was asleep. Like I slept from 7 p.m. to 5 a.m. That was the first time I ever done that in time, because I was just so taken.
Is your
with the work.
sleep pattern? Do you have a sleep pattern?
Yeah,
Or is it bloku?
it's like 1 o'clock
But
to 7 o'clock.
That's the funny thing, because I feel like 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
But like it's like more time. If I text you, like sometimes I might be up late myself.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I've got this awareness that you're probably gonna be up.
Yeah.
So if I text you about something to do with the podcast or whatever,
Yeah.
more time, from what I remember, you answer. So
Yeah.
in my mind, I don't. It's almost as if you don't sleep.
I like
I'm like, I don't know his patterns.
there are times when I don't sleep. Like there's times where I could just sleep from 5 to 9 or 5 to 8. Like those aren't like the best times. So I'm trying to be more ritualistic about sleeping.
100%, man. Like I've noticed myself, like when that's out of whack, everything's out of whack for me. When my sleeping pattern's like not right, that's when the domino effect of it starts happening.
I found out, or I should say I discovered, like my legs have gotten weaker from being so sedentary this past month. So like I can't walk as much as I did before, like because before, like I usually walk anyway, all around, like
on a daily.
Yeah, like for about half an hour. But these past
couple
enough? Of weeks, I haven't been doing that. And then like I was just standing, listening to someone, and I was tired as well, but my legs were shaking. As I was standing, I was like, "What is going on?" Like, and I was like,
those squats,
"My legs are my legs are actually
squats.
strong." That's the funny thing. Like, but for some reason, it's like, I was.
Bro, you need that cycle machine or something, bro.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Like, I can't do this staying inside life.
Yeah, nah, for real.
I discovered that on Wednesday. I was like, bro, I haven't been working out, so therefore, like everything.
Well, do you know what? Whenever I go to the gym, I feel better.
Yeah,
I feel like, why have I not been doing this?
exactly.
Because every time before you go, you're like, oh,
Mm.
I can't really be bothered. Like, I know it's good for me, but like, I've got so much to do and all this. And it's like, yeah, I'd rather just get this done. I feel better just getting this done or whatever.
Yeah.
But that makes everything else just.
Yeah, the
gives you
gym
energy.
makes everything flow. Like with me before, it used to be if I didn't go gym, then like everything would be out of whack. Like, cause there are specific times. Like when you start going gym, you start like giving yourself a ritual, like just subconsciously. Like your body kind of wants to work out from there, and then like if I don't hit my gym mark, then I'm like, what am I doing? Like I used to go like when I was in university. It used to be during lunchtime or something. Like, well, not lunchtime, but like
So
1 or 2,
weird.
like after morning lectures, I would go gym, and then like that would revive my day. But now I just drink energy drinks
I
and
just
coffee.
so wish I capitalized on that more, like when I was younger.
Yeah,
Just had more of a fit body, like as in my like just fixed sort of my hip strength out. Because my problem is my hips because of sitting so much. But it's good now because every morning I get up, like I have a little routine at the moment where I just wake up, I'll go get a cold shower, stretch, meditate, eat.
fam, why do I get hot when we start doing the podcast, bro?
So no, it's the electronics. It's the microphone.
I'm literally.
How
I
does
don't
the
know. I
colour
don't
look?
know
He's already
what it
dripping
is.
sweat.
I am absolutely like. I wasn't like this room was cold for the whole week, and for some reason suddenly, the temperature has risen. But yeah,
But yeah, no, my week.
I genuinely like to just work out, but now it's like, yeah, for some like this week it was like I'm doing new work, different type of work, so it kind of like threw me off of like my work schedule because I incorporated something new and it's kind of tipped the scales a little bit, and I just like had to decide I have to make my solid work from 6 to
A certain
about
time.
1 o'clock, just the most elite work that I can do. And then yeah, so like writing,
Yeah, blocking the day. Would you do the most like taxing stuff first? You'll do all the most taxing stuff first.
no, I just do the stuff that
We'll say taxing, but the stuff that's going to take most of your.
no, because my stuff that I do in the evening takes most of my day. Like I'm more
Oh,
creative
so
at night.
okay.
So I do
crazy.
I do like the hard work then. But yeah, like I still have to finish my design for my book cover and like just yeah,
Crack on, man.
long month. But
Be worth it.
Prime Night is coming soon.
Mm-hmm.
August 22.
Yeah.
I love it. 22
Started
offs.
my 30-day beat challenge now.
Yes.
The second beat. It's gonna do as soon as I leave here today. But yeah, it's been cool, man. Just focusing on craft. It's so interesting when you've got that pressure of this like sort of challenge of trying to do everything. And it's nice because I can see what I'm already getting out of it just even by the second day, or what the real purpose of this challenge is. It's not even to make necessarily the best beat. It's making the best beat you can, but it's more so actually understanding and building your craft, like your process. So
Alright.
like even through this first beat, I'm kind of having to just do the first things that come to instinct and just round those off as I go and think holistically, which is really cool. So yeah, just building on that.
Now, what's its name again?
It is it's just 30-day beat challenge, but hashtag
Alright.
it 30DBC.
Alright. Like with me, I don't necessarily name my things challenge because I was thinking about that. I was thinking about how we how we position things and the perspective we take on them, and me now because Prime Night made me think about not just me now but
what is Prime Night kind of like a challenge? Is it like
it's been tried before, but
wait,
not,
sorry, I know this is because you said it to me before, but could you like just run the the synopsis.
The synopsis of Prime Night. Oh, I was like, how? I was like, what are you asking me?
Yeah.
The synopsis of Prime Night is basically me dropping my most greatest works along with all the stuff from my book. So it's my book stuff that's coming soon. I'm trying to be more have a little bit more mystique.
Okay.
I don't
yeah.
like there's
That's why I kind of was like, oh wait, I don't know if you want to talk
like
about
there's a little
something
bit
you
like
said it before, so.
because obviously me, I'm like super open, so I would just say everything as it is in that moment because I know things can change. So but things can change on wait, what was I actually saying
About the synopsis?
Why did I talk about change first?
Change because you were saying that
oh yeah,
it's
because I
something
say
that's been done
like
before or
like if I'm feeling like I'm ill or something, I know
Okay.
that can change. But like with this particular months coming up, it's me with great blogs, articles, and great content that's gonna be dropping. So I'm just gonna be knocking you guys over the head
Okay,
on
yeah.
all of my socials. So yeah, like, and then my book event is gonna be during Prime Night, and it's just like me working my best. And because I'm in the zone now, I'm like more I just feel the air around me is so much lighter, and it's like I'm just loving this moment, and it's like I just want to get my head around it. So it's like it's like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just want to kill it. Everything is just gonna be like nuts. It's gonna, and because of all of these things that we've been talking about, I was thinking about even writing my book, sort of thing, but like my second book, not this book, but my second book, because these kind of like had the seeds of my book, and then it's kind of like audio notes in a way. Because when I think about when I listen back to our podcast, because I'm starting to listen to our podcast more frequently, and like I listened to the first one. Actually, I haven't listened to that recently.
So weird.
But yeah, I listened to us like just speak, and it's like yeah, I do, like, that's a different story. But yeah, Prime Night is just me knocking everyone over the head September, October time, and you know, in the beginning of November and the beginning of August. I really don't
So
know
it's
how
like
to
just a
hold anything
specific
back.
set of content. Is it focused? It's like going to be
Yeah,
focused
like
on
like
specific
one is
things.
basically this one is gonna be. Should I drop the name?
You can
Yeah.
wait. No, leave the mystique.
No, I don't know. I don't know whether like I don't know whether to like, because
maybe next episode.
yeah,
Maybe 7th, 8th.
Because yeah, I want to like I can say that I want to do my book reveal on my birthday. So on the 10th episode, I might just reveal the name of my book, but by that time you would already know.
That'll be hard. We need to make the 10th. A 10th needs to be a like that. There's just too many good things happening on that day, man. We need to.
So yeah, I want like and it's just I just feel excited, and because like right now it's half the people that are listening to this I don't know. I don't know, like when I think about the people that I know who are listening to this, and then the people that I don't know, it's like it's just it's just like the people on all my socials that listen to this, well mainly my Twitter that listen to this, is like it's like but and we've got over 100 minutes listened on our YouTube and stuff, and it's like wow,
it's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, so
it's cool though.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like literally, I find everything that we achieve with this amazing. Like even if it's just like 2 views, or like not having no views on a day, it's just amazing. And I'm like because I just get more thankful as the time goes on.
We would do this if people weren't listening anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when we came up with the name, it's just so fitting. I didn't even deep it how relevant it was to just how the things, especially that we're going through now, and the things that we're working on and what we're trying to put together, and the things we're trying to, I guess, understand or realize about ourselves. It's just the name encapsulates that perfectly.
Oh yeah, and that's
it's just been all free flowing. It's been all free flowing.
That's what I was thinking about, because this isn't the first time I've tried a challenge, quote unquote, or like tried to be the best me that I could possibly be, ordered like for a period of time. So it's like for the past maybe 4 years. Like no, when was it? When did I do the 100? Like there was this fashion illustration thing that I was doing back in the day, way back in the day. And these were my first fashion illustrations. This was when my computer first broke, and I done 100 fashion illustrations. And those weren't the ones that I first put on the internet, but they're the ones that had a theme to them. So like they weren't all together, but like there was something thematic about them. So
Okay, yeah.
then they got the name. They were delivered the name 100. So I did that October 2017, and then I done my book one, which is the more recent one that people can see. When did I do it again? Do you remember when I did my book? It must have been like, I didn't have my computer, so that was October. That was October 2018. So yeah, like, and then so before 2017, it was like I had 5 or 6 like me trying to do the best and just like knock people over the head with content, like
as you do, man.
Yeah, sometimes. And like there was like 6 of them between 2016 and 2017 that was just like trash. Like I wasn't. Oh yeah, and I done my trainer one as well. I done my trainer one. Like the trainer one was the first one, and then it was the fashion illustration one, I think.
Just different phases, don't it? Because at that time, like you.
No, yeah, because I want to talk about it. I want to talk about the fact that this isn't the first time that I've tried like being 100% in the craft. This is like a long time coming, and because like.
But do you think? I don't think you're ever going to stop that either, though. I think that builds on it builds, because each time you go into that phase, you're trying to glean a different thing from it.
Yeah, I'm not saying that wait 2 seconds. I'm not saying that it's wow. Did I evacuate these? I'm not saying that it was bad or good. I'm just saying that I'm building upon. That's always gonna. I'm building upon something, because like I made friends from the fact that I was like just doing bare content, and there's people that know me from my trainer one. There's people that know me from my fashion illustration one. There's people that know me from my 3D design one when I was designing Yeezys, and it's like it just. So I done a head design in a week, then I done a Yeezy design in like 2 weeks, and then I done my fashion illustrations, my first bunch of them that didn't have any faces. Then I done my trainer one. Then I done my fashion illustrations with faces but half body. So it was just like building upon my design principles and life drawing, and just like getting better. And like now it's like I'm doing a writing one, which is totally different. Like, but it's like tunnel vision sort of thing, where it's like this is like I was doing like design from one perspective, but now I'm doing design from this perspective, where it's all about layout and themes and tying things together. And because I have done scripts, but those weren't necessarily challenges. That was just me wanting to make movies. But obviously I can't just write scripts and then give them to the world, or I can't just write scripts and leave them there.
What do you think the difference then between doing the challenges and doing like a body of work in a sense? I guess it's sort of inherent within it. Like when you do a project, you're still doing.
What I'm saying now is that it's not a challenge anymore. Like it stopped being a challenge in 2017.
Okay, so that in fact that's what you're kind of saying.
Yeah, so I'm saying like I stopped trying to challenge myself and just doing work. Process. It's just like I'm doing a lot of work in a period of time. I'm trying to do my best work, because like there was a time when I would try to do 77 days of work on the best period, but like that just took it all out of me.
Why 77 as well?
7 is one of my favorite numbers. Numerology.
Because I remember that was a while back.
That was a while back. Yeah, that was 2016. Yeah. So yeah, like, and then I said, you know what? From then it was like, yeah, no, because that can just, like, one, I didn't even have the foundation for that, so I started building my foundation with tiny projects. Then I made them a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger, and now it's like I know how to prepare for a performance, because that's really what it is. It's like you're preparing to perform. Like, so you produce and then you perform, and then and in your performance you're giving people the best of you. So it's not you're trying to do your best in a time necessarily. It's you're giving your best performance of you. And so it's like seeing yourself in third person and watching yourself do something, and then understanding how people react, and then gathering the information of like, okay, I can do this better, I can do this better, I can do that better, and then taking that information and then like reloading it. So that's what makes me think about my second book, and then that's what makes me think about the other thing that I'm designing. I'm trying to I don't know why I'm keep trying to give him a seat, but I'm making a trainer in it. So it's like so my industrial design, so growing from writing scripts to now doing all of these days worth of blogs in Prime Night, to doing trainer designs and 3D designs for trainers, and then making my own real trainer. So it's all about understanding that was a performance then, and then like just upgrading it into what it is now. And because I've got viewers or whatnot, it's like the stage is set, the people are here, and the people who are looking at me to see the next work that I produce, I'm gonna now perform for them to give them the best part of me. And that's why Prime Night exists, to like give my best. Like, and that's like, so cool.
That's the way, like, even when I'm doing this 30-day beat challenge, that's kind of how I thought. Like, even though like I've made it a challenge specifically, what was kind of how I described it to you when I explained it. The actual challenge is almost residue of what I'm doing this for, and what I'm trying to achieve from it. So the only reason I'm showing it is because of what I'm creating, even though that in itself is still something I have to pay attention to and nurture. It's more just to make use of what I am actually making, because really what I'm trying to glean from it is the process, the place I'm trying to get my craft back to, almost that muscle memory thing, and just locking that down, I guess. So whenever I am in a situation with artists or other producers, I have internalized what I do. I guess this is a process of internalization. So, because when I've got my next project that I've got coming, like within the next 6 months that I'm going to be working on, this is what I want to be prepared.
Okay, because I know usually you collaborate, but in this one it's just you. It's all you basically.
That's what I've done, because
like
over the past year, like everything I'm trying to do, like it's so cool, because right now I have a very, 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 very clear vision, and I've prolonged that. There's still some other things I need to do, because I'm working with some other artists at the moment, and there's some other things I need to wrap up in that respect. But I'm aiming to just get better at juggling certain things. It's sort of that thing we was talking about over the phone last night, where my brain gets easily overwhelmed with certain things, and the funny thing is, it's not even the things, it's the way I think about the things that will get me to that. So it's doing all this, and especially the 30-day beat challenge. It's so weird. It is like this process of meditation where you're going through it. You know you've got to do this certain amount of things in a certain amount of time, but instead of it being, it's almost a practicing. Instead of worrying about it, you rely on your instincts and sort of surrender to what your process is at that current time, and the compound effect of how that'll build in the future. So you just do what you got to do what you have to do what you know best at that time, and just trust in what it's going to build. And that's what I'm hoping to get at the end of it, is that sort of just knowing when I sit down at a computer and I'm talking about what I'm about to do with someone, whoever I'm collaborating with, I trust my brain and my body is going to do what it needs to do. And it just leaves me to just be creative and think ideas. And I want to do this constantly and like update it. Like I'll probably do this once a year, I think. 30-day beat challenge. Probably call it something else, change it in slight ways, kind of like the Inktober kind of thing. I'll probably do it like that.
Like how Kanye West had Good Fridays, where he would just like drop every single Friday, and that was amazing. That was amazing.
That's cool.
I was literally listening to Christian Dior Denim Flow. It's like,
it's mad.
We like, there's just certain tunes that I feel like we don't deserve. Like there's just like, it's just awesome. Like there's just certain things that are awesome. And I saw on Twitter, that made me think about something I saw on Twitter, that said J. Cole was a creative genius, or a better creative genius than Kanye. And I was like, what? I was like,
Kanye was part of what made J. Cole. Like,
it's a bit like, kind of, but yeah, like, the people will say anything on the internet, to be honest with you.
But that's just because people don't actually understand Kanye West.
Yeah, I don't feel like people wanna down.
They're looking
Kanye.
at him through their own subjective lens.
Like,
they're looking at it through the lens of his sort of social.
Yeah, they're
social image, not his social image.
Okay, I'll let you go.
I can't think of the word. Bloody hell, so annoying. But it's the way society looks at Kanye. That's how most people understand, think, and talk about and judge Kanye.
Yeah.
Instead of him as a human and having a bit of empathy, of understanding.
It's not even like, to me, it's not even just as a human. It's like genius is genius, but that's what I mean. Genius live.
Yeah.
And like
because if you understand what I'm a human, then you understand the things the way he thinks, the things he's able to achieve, and through what he's actually able to do, and actually understanding what he's able to put off. It all leans into that thing, because I know I wanted to kind of talk about that today. Actually, is how creatives are undervalued makes almost what he does is so trivial, even though it's not really necessarily what he created is the thing that's so like, whoa, it's the idea behind what he created, and him having that idea and bringing it to fruition, because it's not just the idea. Everyone has ideas, but it's the strength and quality of his ideas, and also the way he's able to execute that and put that together. That's what's so powerful about what someone like Kanye is able to do, and the network of things. It's transferable. It's the same thing with Pharrell. I think Pharrell's another person who's like that for me, where his vision and his articulation of his ideas it's not about the music, it's not about the ice creams, it's not about the clothes or the movies, it's the ideas. It's just, and his way is he's able to articulate that. That's what's so special about these people. Because you could argue, oh yeah, but Pharrell's better because doesn't chat all this and he doesn't chat all that. But people let the social aspect of what he does get in the way. But
for some reason, like, my mind won't let me even say that Pharrell is better than Kanye, and I don't know. I don't even know, like, whether that's even allowed. Like, in my mind, like in the space in the palace in my mind, I don't judge them two on the same plane, because one did inspire the other, and one did pave the way for the other. And because
Pharrell was first, wasn't he?
Yeah. Like, so basically, how it.
I can't tell at this point.
Like, do you want me to like put it in context of time?
Well, yeah, just
okay, yeah. So basically, Pharrell was obviously first, like, I think from around 1996, and he was when he was huge. Yeah, he grew up. Huge. He was like grew up with Timbaland. Like, they were 20. So when Timbaland done Volume 1 and Volume 2, and like, just started working with Jay-Z, that's when they obviously moved from where is it that they grew up in again? Virginia. So they moved from Virginia to New York and started working with the gangsters and drug dealers and stuff. And obviously
that used to be the spot, innit?
yeah,
New
so
York
like
was a
weird,
spot.
yeah, that's what London's
That
going to
was
be in the
the
20s.
spot.
So but that's the story for another podcast maybe. And then so they both grew up together, and then they moved from there. And then obviously like he came up with the Neptunes and stuff, and like was making those weird beats, and was even doing skateboard P in it. So skateboard P, and then his fashion style, all of that stuff, it transferred to Kanye. So that's when you get the twin polos in 06 and stuff like that, and like just being himself. So 2001, 2002, like, and around the time where Jay-Z released Volume 2 and Hard Knock Life, like that's when Kanye kind of stepped into the scene, but more so in Blueprint, which was the one that put Jay-Z on the map. So that's what propelled Kanye. And then so yeah, like, well, just in context of Pharrell and Kanye, Pharrell came first with like the steez of just being himself, or just not even being himself, sorry, being different than anyone else. And so that idea, like you were saying, was like, that idea was like, I can be myself. And it's not like I want to be like Pharrell. It's like I can be myself and know that I'm super duper weird. And that's the same thing that happens with all these other artists.
Do you think Kanye's better than Pharrell? Because I don't think you could. Like you're saying, you can't really put them in the same plane. It's so weird. It's so weird because it's like that. Even it feels weird to say.
Pharrell, I don't know. I just don't know that Pharrell has work like Kanye.
Yeah. Creatively, versatility.
Like just like the work, just like I look at the two catalogs and then it's like I don't like, and at the end of the day, like both of them mean so much to me that I don't even want to compare them.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't like. I
respect,
but it just.
But the reason that I say I put them in the same place because I respect them equally for for their creativity. Because the thing is with Pharrell, he sits in a certain pocket.
Yeah.
He sits in a certain pocket of what he creates.
Yeah.
There's a certain like. Yeah,
like there's a certain tranquility to Pharrell's music.
Yes,
and then
that was
the frequency of like what Kanye does, like just the ability to change and grow. That's what he shows, and that's what he embodies: the changing and the growing and being human and being himself. Like, and the way that Pharrell is himself is that it's like you can still be yourself. You can still be one of the greats by being still and calm. Where like Kanye's frequency is quite loud and erratic, but at the same time it's genius produced. So no matter what, like these things that have come from geniuses, although they're on different frequencies, like Pharrell's one's more low and mellow, and not in his music, but just like how he is as a person, and then like Kanye's frequency of change, because that's really what it is the ability to change.
I think Kanye's a lot more in touch with the dark side of himself as
well.
And
sometimes genius comes at a cost. Like there's like just within yourself, and sometimes people can't handle that. Like I wanna sort of fill in myself with or be like me and my best version of myself. It's like tranquility and the ability to change at the same time.
Have you heard of a guy called Robert Crumb?
No.
Ooh, that's talking about
like,
genius at a cost, mate. Well, but
like, I've never heard of him.
No, yeah, it's
genius at a cost.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Well, because he was this comic book artist, and it's like there was this documentary I watched, like just from the aspect of like psychology, like. It was this guy who basically his whole life, he'd always been really nerdy. Like, no one ever accepted him in society. He was just this typical...
Well, is that a nerd?
Huh? Well, no. Well,
artsy.
I'm just using that as a... No, he wasn't artsy. Because this was all before he even started drawing.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, before... The reason he got into drawing is because he started doing sketches and...
Story gets interesting.
Like this was what I can't even remember what year or period it is. I think just from the perspective, it's quite a creepy documentary just from his expression of the worst parts of himself and how he almost came to accept those things, and through his art, he almost not controlled it or contained it, but he was able to express it.
Yeah.
And basically he became a really famous artist because when he was younger, girls shunned him. He sort of built this deep-seated resentment. His family life was dark. Like, his dad didn't really love him. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, when bad things like that happen to you, that give you this outlook on life that really messes you up.
Yeah, it's like,
it builds
man.
that in you.
Damn, it's so dangerous, fam. Like, just being like different is dangerous. And then when you start talking about, like, because what really intrigues me is the fact that he didn't draw before. Like, because there's, how old is he? How old is he?
He's old now. He's old.
Yeah.
Old. I'm talking, this was like, he got prominent because I just want to give a bit of context, because what he actually done was he drawing, he done his art style, like,
was it dark as well?
Huh?
Was it dark?
It was. It was the main reason. One of the main reasons why he became like almost like just like a really famous artist. It's sort of a outside of the actual comic book world per se, but more so as like this individual artist. His work is put up in galleries,
like,
and he's got things like, he had devoted fans who were, majority of them were women, because he had this weird, it wasn't weird, but he had this like almost this fetish for like girls who were like bigger and a bit stronger, and like he would depict them in that way. And like they would have big arms, big legs, and especially in a time when, you know, everything, it was slim bums. For him,
that's why I asked how old is he, because like you think about artists and like just having that like strained relationship with the world, like just because a lot of artists you self-express through drawing. So like, because when you're a kid, you can tell that you're different, like you can tell that you're really different from people, but you don't know how to just articulate your differences. So you start drawing.
With drawing, I used to try and make there was a period where I felt like I drew like myself when I was making my comics and my stories, and obviously I'm copying things I'm seeing, but I'm doing that because I like it. And then it almost became a thing when people started noticing I was good at drawing, or certain things that I draw, I would notice from their reactions what they like seeing the most. And it's almost like there would be stuff which they would be like, oh, I don't get that. I would avoid going down that path, and I would start making certain stuff, like my art style would be like, oh, what would people like? And that kind of carried on. Like, I think college was the other time when I was most free.
So you discovered like the glitch. You discovered the glitch that made you want to do things that people would like. Yeah. Because like that's really interesting, because I had a conversation with a friend, and he was talking about art and entertainment and portraying himself, and he said people don't really like this one, so should I put it out anyways? And I said
always.
Like literally, he said he loved it, so because he said he loved it, I said pull it out. Like, there's so many people that are underserved like that will like what you're doing.
It's the exact same reason with this 30 days that I want to get over that thing of just trusting you. No, not get over it, but I'll tap it into trusting your instincts.
Yeah, it's like,
just trust your instincts, because that's all that matters. Like, the more you betray your instinct by going, oh, I'm not going to put this out even though I like it because other people say, the less you have integrity for your own ideas and the things you make.
Like, I didn't start from that place. Like, I hate like just knowing certain things about myself, but people not liking me hasn't like changed how I am as a person, because that type of stuff me would like, because I've got things that will affect me physically. I know that it just makes me feel sick. Like, it will make me physically sick. Just like, I'll get aches and pains just doing things that I don't really feel like doing, and like I'll get headaches and stuff. So from that, I know that I can't do that type of stuff, and that's only because of the pain.
That's what I came to realize. Yeah, it was almost causing me more stress trying to juggle that idea of doing what people like or what I like, and almost tearing between it. But that's the funny thing, is if you are all in on what you like, you're gonna find a whole plethora of
and
people.
that's why I said it will tear me up and like it will kill me, because like just knowing that I can start getting headaches from doing things for other people like that. Like me, obviously, like there's part of me that's like, I just want great things for people, and I'll go out of my way to help someone, but that's not because of them, that's because of what I feel on my inside, and I know that's what I really want to do. I want to be able to help people get jobs and all of these, like just take the stress away so that people can start living in luxury. And that brings me back to the point of being an artist, because you know you're so different, you start drawing. But obviously he's got to be old, because he didn't draw in his youth.
No. He did draw when he was younger, but I'm talking all these things happened when he was young, like
all the strange things.
All the strange things. It's from his youth. Like when I say he wasn't drawing before, it's like he had started, and there'll be like, for example, he'd have things.
But he didn't grow up saying, "I'm going to be an artist," did he?
No, but he. This is the thing. What's interesting about it. You need to watch it, because I'm probably not explaining it as best as I go. Like I'm just piecing together what I remember, but there was memories he had, and he was talking about when he would be in classroom, sketching or whatever, and like all the girls would sort of come around and go, "Oh, you draw," and he built this resentment, thinking like, "I'm sensitive. I think I'm intelligent. I think these things. You know what I mean? Like I'm more so." He in his mind he was like, "I'm more so like you," and he built this resentment because all the like jocks and all that whatsoever, they'd be getting with the girls, and the girls would just be fawning over them, and he'd be like, "What the hell?" And from that he built his resentment. Yeah, it's strange. It's so strange.
That is nuts, because drawing is the first thing that would get you girls. Like
but it was the way he was. Because look, man,
it
was his character. Look, because we can say yeah, but it's just the way you get. It's so true. It's so true. But when you break it down,
is nuts.
It's all about character, man.
That's interesting.
It's character. It's your ability to socialize. There's so many factors. This guy didn't have any of that. He was just someone who drew, created these comics and these strange characters.
Yeah, that's strange.
And basically his whole thesis, which kind of worked out in his favor, because his whole family drew. His little brothers, man, his home life was wrecked. Like, yeah, it was crazy. And he just went, "I'm just gonna go all in and be a famous artist." He said that to himself. He's like, and fortunately for him, it completely worked out. And essentially what happened is all this dark resentment, these things that he built up towards society, I want to see women, like even certain types of men, like his comics. Yeah, it's like the documentary is called Crumb. CRUM. Yeah. What's up, Majid?
Yeah.
What you saying, bro? Yeah.
I'm going, innit?
Alright, sick. Peace. Good luck.
But yeah, CRUM. It gets really quite creepy, because he sort of gets to this point where you see the sort of dark thoughts he has towards people, society, and women. And
did you take a note of the edit point?
Oh yeah. No, I can hear it anyway. Like whilst I'm editing it, I'll hear it.
Oh, okay, yeah. That threw me off. Yeah. So, 75. He's still alive.
He's still alive. Yeah. His son recently died in a car crash last year.
Oh wow.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's brother, called Crumb B. Like it's with a B. It's Crumb with a B.
Yeah, Crumb. Yeah. His brother killed himself. His brother lived in isolation, basically through his whole adult life.
Wow.
Like living with his mom in isolation. Man, it is to see this side of humanity. It's such an interesting.
Yeah, I don't think I want to watch this, but it was made in 1995. It's Crumb. It's called Crumb.
It's really
got
quite
a very high rating.
No, because it's good. It's a great, like, as a documentary, it's good. Like, if you don't want to see that
many
kind
dark things,
for
me, like right now, because of the way I dream and
100%. Do you know what,
do it
bro?
Now.
From watching it, I can understand why people wouldn't want to watch it. Completely. But it's not. Maybe it will be good for you. A heartwarming watch in the slightest. But just as like a sort of insight into how that sort of dark side of people can deeply influence their art to the point where they don't even know why they're creating the art that they create.
Yeah. Like with me, I have to understand everything about myself, so that if I didn't understand myself early, I would be someone different, literally. Because I understood myself so early, from like 9, 10, I knew what my path was in secondary school, and then like I revisited the thoughts, and then I knew where I wanted to go in college, and then I revisited the thoughts and knew where I wanted to be in university, and then post university I knew that I had to start another plan, because really it was a 10-year plan, and then I had to make another 10-year plan basically, and then yeah, that was around the time of the shift. Like if you actually understand the timeline of like when I started doing all of these different things. But yeah, back to reality.
I can't believe we started college in 2010. That's so crazy to think.
Thanks for dating me. Well, okay.
Mate, I dated myself. I still get told. Do you know what? Went for a couple of drinks yesterday with Shahir, and I got told I was like somewhere. I was like, oh, you're definitely like 19, 20, like definitely. But you know what? I've learnt to like go. I've learnt to. Kind of almost. Well, I understand that in the future it's going to pay off. Look, if I can stay vampire mode like Pharrell into my 40s, I ain't complaining, bro.
But yeah, because that conversation really brought us to like buying into artists. Like I want to speak about just how people buy into artists, and like what is necessary for someone to do that, because there are times where you find people are buying into the journey and then buying into you, and then
well, yeah, timing as well. It's like with that, for example, with that Crumb guy, he even though his art was dark, it's just the timing of what he was saying in a society where there was where capitalism and consumerism was probably at the time. And yeah, you know what I mean. Look, when it gets to that point in the documentary and it's talking about that image.
Yeah.
At the moment we've got one of his panels up. I'm not gonna describe it because it's quite mad, but yeah, if you want to see it, go and watch that documentary. I think it's on Netflix as well. Actually.
Yeah, I think you people should watch it.
If you feel like going to a dark place for an hour and a half. But yeah, even in that bit, like you see when it's like that, she don't have a head, mate. That's the thing. Like, and it's describing why. Oh man, you really you need to watch it for it to make any sense. Like,
okay,
you do, but it's just terribly dark. But I can't remember what I was gonna say.
What, was she dead?
No, she weren't dead.
Okay, she was a lady without a head.
Without a head, but there was, because it's part of the comic. It's a long explanation. I'll have to explain the basic, because he's basically got this comic called Mr. Natural, and it's this all-knowing guy who it's you'd have to watch it.
The way his women are made, they're like tall and buff, and
like
they look like male athletes with women parts. Basically, that's what they look like. Like I just had to take a look. Some of them are ugly, some of them aren't. But yeah. Where were you? Like when people are buying into artists, like
buying into artists. Yeah, with Crowd, for example, it's the timing. Consumerism, capitalism was probably at a certain point. People resonated with it. Okay. In a particular, like timing does play a big part in how we connect with certain people, because even though someone can be prolific in what they create, sometimes timing. But I guess their art is still affected by that certain time. So in a weird way, it's kind of just how they articulate that to a specific audience, isn't it?
Wasn't it Da Vinci that never got paid while he was alive, or was that somebody else?
Da Vinci? No, you're thinking of.
Oh. Wait, yeah, I'm thinking of someone different.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, we actually did art history. Gosh, fam.
That's
terrible. Weird. Oh my god.
I was speaking about. I saw his name come up in the comments. Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
Bloody heck, that was
one of the V's, man. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Like the fact that we studied art history is the funny part about that. That's the reason why it's funny.
Yeah, but I guess that's
But
why
yeah.
you tread that thin line of like it is timing. It is actually timing, isn't it? Timing does play a huge, massive role.
Yeah.
Because you might just be on the cusp of speaking about something. You might be on the cusp of expressing something.
That's
that
why I
people are
say
gonna...
that we live in like luxury, because when they actually say if you build it, they will come, or just do it, just keep doing it, just be consistent, and the fruits of your labor will show, and like, or like yeah, just those tropes in life. It's like real sometimes when you're an artist, because there's just so much, like, people reach a certain point where they just want entertainment from you, or they want entertainment from something, or you portray an idea that they want, and that's just like Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Well, even to add to that, before the internet, I think timing was more so of an issue. But I think because of the internet now, you can reach out to people that can connect with what you're expressing.
Yeah.
Regardless of time, per se. Yeah, you might have a bigger or larger effect, but because of the wide reach you have. So how many people on the internet today? 2 billion, is it?
I ain't even sure.
It's something like 2 billion.
Isn't that how much people that have a Facebook?
No, I think Facebook's like 1 point something. Or is it 3 billion? Because I know it's not like... I'm pretty sure it's not over half of the world's population has internet.
3.2 billion.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Yeah.
So just under.
Yeah.
Just under half.
That's a bit mad. And that was in 2015.
Because I thought it would be more, but when I remember seeing it, I think last time I saw it was like 2.5 bill, maybe 3 bill that have internet. But think about that. You just need to deeply affect 1,000 of those people.
Really?
With what you do? Yeah, well, think about it. Because
you think about 1,000?
Yeah. Well, it's like what was his name? Will something. Oh, can't remember his name. 1,000 True Fans was basically the thesis. Then. Well, because if you deep it, it's like, okay. And when it's like 1,000 true fans, it's not like 1,000 people who go share it every now and then. It's 1,000 people who, this is something that's affected me. I know this is something I'm always going to fondly and deeply remember for the rest of my life and into the future. Whether or not you grow out of it, yeah, yes or no, whatever. But this is something and someone whose ideas I resonate and connect with.
Okay.
That person then becomes almost a mouthpiece for what you do. Right. Because they're someone who's going to be passing on what you do to most people that they speak to.
A cult fan base.
I guess so. But yeah, well, I guess that is what it is in a technical term. But I'm more talking about people who actually just connect with what you do. It's like the people that you listen to on a consistent basis, or the people whose content you consume on a consistent basis. It's those people who, yeah, I guess buy all the things that you're involved in, turn up to all the things you want to go, are interested in what you've got to say and share your ideas. It's
interesting.
Because if you've got 1,000 of those people and you've positively affected them, like genuinely, it's only going to spread through those people, and then you'll have people who are a bit more casual in enjoying what you create, and then you've got people on the outskirts who notice it every now and then, might buy something here or there or come to something here or there, but you'll have that core people who are like constantly standing. Yeah.
Yeah, like I've not yeah, like I see where it's coming from. I see that I'd probably have to read the whole book to properly understand that, but I kind of use the more the tipping point kind of thing, where you need the people that are gonna sell your stuff, and then the people that are gonna promote your stuff, and then like you need those, like just a collection of those type
people
of people.
Are gonna sell your stuff. What do you mean?
Like I forgot the different types of people that are in there, like, and it's just the innovation and.
Or are you talking about fans that will be involved in?
Yeah, I'm talking about different types of people that are within, like, that will just spread an idea. Different types of people that spread an idea. So you've got.
But that's the same. I guess that's the same thing. Because what's this tipping point thing you're talking about? It's like it reaches a certain point of the amount of people that you get, where it's kind of then compounds exponentially.
Yeah. So it's a lot.
So
of,
you're
it's
saying it's not necessarily 1,000; it could be 500 or whatever.
Yeah, it's just the compound effect of people spreading an idea, like, because
Well, that's the idea behind it, because I can't
like
remember what
with
you were saying.
Mary Kay and like certain like MLM things, it's about those different
Yeah.
types of people that all work together.
Yeah, it's the same sort of idea.
to blow up an idea.
I remember where the 1,000 True Fans idea came from.
Okay.
It was basically if you've got 1,000 people that at least 1,000 people that consistently spend $10 a month on what you do, that could be spread throughout the year. You're on a 6 figures. Basically, that's what the idea is. You get what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I understand now why he said that.
All right.
But the tipping point theory is essentially it comes into play because that's basically, it's kind of like a taper off effect, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like those 1,000 people, even though they're the consistent, strong foundation, you're going to have everyone else around who's like, yo, listen to this. Yo, listen to this. And then those people are like, yeah, I found this cool thing. Like, oh, I kind of like it. Like, and you'll have those other people who's like, yeah, it was cool. I like that one thing he did.
Yeah.
And then
that's jokes.
And then you'll have people who's like, oh, I've heard of this person. I listen to that every now and then. Those are the people who just kind of poke their head in. Those are the people who are like, oh, he's a bit shit though, isn't he?
Yeah. What's the guy called? What's the book called?
Will Kelly, something Kelly.
This isn't a podcast where you get information about books. But yeah, that's intriguing, fam.
Oh, something Kelly.
That's intriguing.
Kevin Kelly.
Kevin
Kelly? I'm pretty sure it's Kevin Kelly.
I'll pull it. Like, I've literally got a list of books that when I get rich that I'm gonna buy and read, which is the more important part.
Yeah, that storybook. I saw that just come up. Story, that one on Story.
Which one? This. Yeah, Robert McKee. Yeah, I need it.
I got this other one that I've got.
I need
Story
that book.
Genius. This is cool.
Like, there's
Kinda
two
like
over there about script writing. As soon as let me see that one.
This one.
Yeah. Story
It's
Genius.
interesting,
What's it about?
Just breaks down the process. It's just like the process of, like, why it kind of goes into why we think about story the way we do. It kind of goes through the process of someone building their story. So through the process of understanding the point you're trying to make, what the story actually means to you, what you're trying to say, and then building it from the whole what if scenario with your point in mind, and taking it from there to just essentially building a story that has just a solid foundation. Do you know when a story has its own life and you can think of the characters or a situation or the world that they're in, and you know how they're going to act without having to think about it?
Okay.
You know? And that's because you understand your point, you understand what it's trying to say and why you're creating this story.
That's how I write stories. That's like I remember I made this chart like before I started like making stories and writing scripts. I made a couple charts about how stories should go and like what you do first, and like they were kind of like those two over there, like on the far right, but there was a lot of them along my wall basically. So it was just understanding the dynamic of a story and how like a story can either be a piece of time or telling a timeline. So your people live their life and then you interject for a moment, and then that's where the story starts. Or you can see a story from someone starting all the way to them ending, and like how and just the effects of life on one person or a group of people. And that's how a lot of stories are told. It's either a piece of time or a timeline.
Well, that's what she goes into as well. It's like even with a protagonist, because no matter what, even if you got
that's interesting. Like it took me like a long time to think about that as well.
Well, yeah, because
the
thing is, 'cause when you think about a story, you think about all the characters and the things they were gonna do before the point you're trying to make. Because I know the reason why I got into stories. I look at what interested me about stories, and I would look at, instead of looking at the underlying actual reason why I was interested in stories. Like, for example, watching Naruto, it's kind of like you're seeing him do all this cool stuff and the interaction between the world. And I think for me, it was always like, oh, I'm interested in the world.
Okay.
But not really. It's kind of what the world represented.
Yeah.
And why the world was built and the way the characters are having to navigate that world and why they're even doing that in the first place.
It's interesting.
Yeah, man. Like, Naruto is probably not the best example, but
no, it's a contained example.
But yeah, it's one that I remember. It was actually part of what made me think, oh, animation. Because I remember do you remember Fox Kids or Jetix?
Yeah.
I remember it used to come up. It wasn't on Fox Kids because it was Jetix by the time.
Oh. Yeah, I liked Fox Kids as well.
It used to come. Yeah, Jetix was whack. Jetix was whack. But they had played Naruto on there, and then I think at some point it was on Cartoon Network. But my point was, I remember seeing that there and thinking, yeah, because I used to watch Dragon Ball Z, but I remember watching Naruto. I was like, that'd be sick to make an anime.
Yeah, I remember like Cowboy Bebop and like just Gundam Wing.
Cowboy
and
Bebop's crazy. Do you know what I need to watch again?
Escaflowne.
I need to watch Akira again.
Akira. Yeah, I tried to watch that before. I don't know. It just it didn't pull me in the beginning.
So nuts.
I did I don't know why it didn't like
the animation is just crazy.
No, it was the type. It was the type of animation.
What do you mean the style? The style, art style.
I didn't like. I
do
could
get
tell
why
it
you
was,
didn't like the art style.
I could tell it was cell animation and they were all painted and stuff and like.
Well, you don't like it like
I
that?
need it digital. No, I need like there needs to be like a crispness to it. I don't know why.
Really? I really appreciate it for
like and what else?
Because isn't that what that's the same way Ghibli does it, isn't it?
What's the other one? I know which film you're talking about. I love that film though. There's that like the Akira one I don't like. I just didn't get into the story. It kind of moved slow. Like the beginning part and the way they were talking. Like I might need to watch it in subs instead of dubs because like everything.
Never watch an anime movie
all together.
Look, I think we can
like,
agree. Yeah, never watch an anime in dub.
No, but like here's the thing: Attack on Titan's dub and
I haven't heard Attack on Titans.
And whatchamacallit, and My Hero Academia dub is like good. It's like
because from what I've heard about My Hero Academia, from what I've heard from its dub, I mean,
and I think
it's like it feels almost American cartoony in a weird way. It's got that essence. It's got the anime
like
essence,
the woman,
like
a woman is playing the main character. So like when a woman voices the main character, it changes how you perceive that character. Like it literally just sounds more girly. It doesn't sound like he's a guy. It sounds like he's a baby basically. So it shifts. Like I don't know what happens mentally, but it shifts your perspective. Let me just make sure. Yeah. So what's next on the list?
Unknown way.
Because
but yeah, crazy. There's a couple things you added in the chat.
Yeah, like
About what is your best?
Yeah, what is your best?
And you didn't say something about fear? No.
Did I? No.
Always gonna talk
about listening to others' opinions, fashion, and record deal. Like I wanted to talk about what happens behind the scenes and managing artists and stuff.
Yeah, I did want to talk about the fashion stuff, but I think we can save that for another day.
Easy.
Because I feel like we've gone on a different tangent.
All right.
I feel like what is your best?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
That was a statement question. I like doing those sometimes.
What is your best? I think I'm trying to figure that out now, man. I really am trying to. That's what I'm trying to get in the mode of pushing. What's my best? Because, like, I've always felt I haven't really given 100%, even though I've put myself in positions where I'm like trying really hard and I work hard to a certain extent. Like, I have a very, I do have quite a bad focus and ability to focus on things for an extended period of time in a lot of ways, unless I'm in a certain zone. Once I get in a zone and I'm just, a lot of the time that comes from pressure.
All right.
Which I don't like. And I think that's why I've always felt like I've not really tried my 100%, because if I was, I would be able to do that without the pressure.
Okay, what's
of time restraints.
So if it's not your, a guy does Midoriya, That's weird. Why is his voice so disgusting? I hate Midoriya's voice. I hate his voice so much.
Do you hate it? I thought you said you liked it.
No, Midoriya's voice is trash. It's trash.
Yeah. He sounds like. Who does he sound like?
He sounds like his voice is almost breaking.
Yeah, I heard.
And I don't like that. Like,
so who does he sound like?
He doesn't sound like a boy.
Someone.
I don't know what. Like,
I think two of the best voices that I actually like in even
In
games
dub.
and anime is probably Metal Gear Solid and Goku. Goku's voice actor.
Damn, his voice.
They're some of the best dubs.
Like, that's just nuts to me. Like, his voice is terrible. I hate his voice so much.
Is he the only person whose voice you don't like?
Yeah, literally. Like, it's not like I hate it, but it's like, just sound like a teenage boy. Like, don't sound like you're younger than everyone, so you can be less unsuspecting or something like that. It's like just the fact that he's kind of a protagonist that also hurts himself, but he's trying to be a hero, and it's like, it's just making him sound weaker than he actually is.
But see,
and that's the point of,
but
like,
see, this is why I don't like
and that
dubs.
that was the point of, like, making a lot of main characters, and like making it a woman as well. It's like to make him sound younger.
Why do you think it's so hard to make a dub though? Because
Well,
I
it's
feel
not-
like that I feel like that with most dubs, which I hear. I can't remember.
No, My Hero Academia is dub, like,
time.
it matches and stuff, and it's like,
Yeah,
they've got a good script for it. I think they redo them hours, and so.
Oh man, there's so many bad animes with bad scripts.
Yeah.
There's so many.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Mm.
Like, you can tell they're
Beyblade.
just trying to fit stuff into the syllables, and it's horrible.
Yeah, fam. Like, I think they've got enough money now. Like, they kind of just do the best ones that
My Hero Academia
go
bangs,
worldwide. Yeah,
the
like,
scenes
I
are
watch
just
it in.
crazy.
I will actually watch it in subs, but because I watch it with my nephew, like, and he's getting into anime now, I have to watch it in dubs. Like, he just likes looking at the thing when it's in subs, which is, like, I have to get cerebral with it, like, and understand, why do you like watching animation even though you can't understand it?
Wait, so he prefers watching it with subs?
No, like, he can watch it in subs. He just likes watching me watch it.
Okay.
And like that, and I was like, you gotta listen to it as well.
Interesting.
Yeah,
because
that was
really, all
interesting.
he's doing is he's trying to understand why he should like it too.
Is it?
In a weird way, because he's watching you watch it.
No, but he genuinely but yeah, that was in the beginning. But now he genuinely.
But that's what I'm
watching
saying.
that
But that's what I'm saying. So when he was watching you watch it, he's kind of like looking like, does he like it? How does he react? Why is it? And he's building that sort of connection now. You know what I mean?
But yeah, like My Hero Academia,
so
like,
weird.
he literally always bugs me to just watch it. He just wants to watch anime all day, like a weirdo. But yeah, back into being your best.
Yeah, being your best. Yeah, we went on.
So
a bit
yeah,
of a
like
tangent.
because when I think about being my best, I think about giving my best every day, and not necessarily like what is the prime or me being in the zone, because that's a period of time that can't be repeated. It's like you give a little bit of yourself every time.
Yeah,
you do
and it's
that.
not necessarily sustainable.
Yes, so I was just thinking about what's a sustainable way to just like be on that level. What is, because in the beginning I kind of alluded to me being ritualistic in certain ways
rituals,
of like what I do. So I work a lot generally, but in the work I do, it's of myself because I'm present in that moment. And then I started thinking about, okay, what is this moment, or what is me now, and how did I get to that moment, and what was the timeline, and how did it come across? Because I remember, like, because we were talking about this on the phone, like, during the week, and it was, when I think about me younger, it was like I had no emotion to the thing that I was doing, as in I would cut everything else around me off, and I would just focus on my animation or my model. And then
when you was younger, you mean like how old?
I was like teenagers, like college and university years, basically. So I would just focus on modeling, or I'd focus on animating, or I'd focus on drawing, and no one could distract me from it. And then I think even further back to when I was doing my GCSEs, and like my GCSEs is like where I worked my hardest. Like I literally worked hard to do my, like, because I went to every after school thing, like, and then I started thinking about focus, innit? I started thinking about why have I been focused, and what made me achieve that type of focus where I can just dedicate myself. And what makes someone dedicate themselves. So I just wanted to peer into that space and understand how do you break down focus in a way, like how do you even
I've
teach
been
it?
trying to do that.
How do you teach focus?
I've been trying to do that, I feel like, since uni. The last time I was truly focused was when I done when I first really heavily got into, when I understood truly the importance of figure drawing, because that was not the last time, but I think one of the first times I had the greatest elevation in skill, like the greatest transformation in my abilities in a short period of time.
Okay.
Because through that, I was so focused on. I remember waking up some days, I would spend a whole day doing figure drawing. I would literally wake up.
So what put you in that state? Like what was like? What's the formula for that state? Because I'm trying to like what's the formula for focus? I'm thinking about anything. Like, that's what I'm thinking about.
Anything other than what you're trying to achieve from what your actions.
Sorry, repeat that, please.
Anything other than what you're trying to achieve from the specific thing you're aiming to do is not important in the moment you're doing that thing.
Okay, so you're talking about not even just being present, but you're talking about like. I feel like giving it a name. I need to give it a name.
Well, because the thing that stops me from being focused, for example, and the reason why I'm doing the 30 days is because when I'm making music more time, I was speaking about this with Ali and Olu, and it's been something that's like hindered me badly. Not even, and it's that same thing with my art that I was talking about, is I think who would like this thing? Like whilst it's playing, who will like this thing? Like, could I imagine this person liking it? Could I imagine this person dance to it?
Swear.
And if I can't say yes,
that's a weird thing.
It saps the energy from me to do this thing, and it's almost like my creativity like goes down. It like kind of hinders. But one thing, even before I started this challenge, I started to notice that thing we was talking about, where having the ability to not control your emotions, having the ability to process your emotions, and like that thing where you kind of like, you understand what you're feeling, and you notice that emotion, you kind of go, what is that there for? You kind of like, I do this weird little checklist where I go like, what is that there for? Is it important? Is it something? Am I gonna be injured right now? Is this thing gonna kill me? No, it doesn't matter. I'll just carry on with what I'm doing. So you
do a mental checklist of
kind of, but it's very quick. It's not like I sit there and go. It's like, for example, I might be sitting there, or I might even. Great example. This 30, the beats that I'm doing. I will think, crap, I've only got this many hours in the day. I've got to do this. I've got to do these other things. Blah, 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 blah. I go, whoa. What are you worrying about? Are you going to do it? Yes. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do to get that thing done. You know that this process of thinking is going to make it harder to create the beat. So just let it go. And then I just focus in on the fact that I'm going to do that beat in a weird way. Or I'm going to make that thing. Or I'm just going to trust the process of what it's making. That's what I like. I surrender to the process in a weird way. I surrender, instead of surrendering to the feeling of anxiety and the all the bad things that can happen, or the things that aren't going to happen. I just go, yep, this is what I need to do, so surrender to that. Just put myself in that mode. Whatever comes out of it. I guess it's kind of like a freedom from outcome kind of thing.
Okay, wait.
It's the process as opposed to the outcome. And that's why it's like everything. That's why when I said initially, everything that you're doing, everything outside of what you're doing is irrelevant apart from what you're focusing and doing at that time. You need to that's it. That's everything from the thoughts, from other things outside. Emotionally, those things shouldn't affect you.
All right. Cause
so that's why rituals are important to an extent, because then you can have a conscious awareness of blocks of time that you can literally tunnel vision in on things. Because if you're thinking about, I left a plate downstairs, if you're thinking about, I've got to go and get my hair cut, I've got to go pick up some milk, you're kind of going to be all like that all adds up. In my opinion, that stuff all adds up. And it's like, yeah, okay, you might not be able to do all the things you need to do beforehand in that day, but you block the time.
Yeah.
It's about time blocking, isn't it?
So,
and if you've got that time to do that thing, that's the only thing you do in that time.
All right.
You don't go on Facebook. You don't go chatting to other things. You like, if you got a phone call, that's another thing. I remember, I can't remember what I was listening to. I think it was like that 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He made a very valid point about phones. Phones are...
He spoke about phones and
phone calls.
Yeah, he talked phone calls.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like social media and all that stuff, but phone calls. Phone calls are almost the one thing universally that people will make people almost wait, or they'll pick up a phone in the middle of something. Sorry, I just got to take the... That's the one thing, regardless, like, you don't even know what that phone call is necessarily going to entail, but you will let that thing disrupt most people.
Really?
Anyway. Yeah, most people.
I'm finding right now that people don't like phone calls. Our generation don't.
They don't like phone calls, but
they will be distracted by a text, and like me, yeah, that's something that I do 100%. Like,
but I know I'm quite bad. If I see a phone ringing, I'll be like, 2 seconds. I just got to take this. I'll do that.
Because we're the same in that we don't text, we call each other. Like, we don't like.
I don't like texting. Really.
Yeah,
it's long.
Like, I genuinely dislike texting, and it's really like putting a strain on my relationships with other people and women in general. So it's like, if I don't text someone, like with me, texts are serious, innit? It's like, where are you or what are you doing type text.
It's just like, the straight to the point stuff, so you don't need to, because at that point, getting on the phone is just arbitrary.
Exactly. So
but anyway, you should go back to what you were saying beforehand with the thing, because you was mid-thought with that, wasn't you?
Wait, what was I saying prior? We
was talking about being your best and focus.
Yeah, that's funny. I talk about focus, and then we went on a tangent.
I know, I went on a tangent with the phone thing, just as an example.
But yeah, like, so you talk about what I was talking about before, because of like just
because why you even asked me,
making those mental decisions is even part of a ritual. It's like not even blocking out time, but slicing away at procrastination almost. And saying, okay, these things are done, so I can do this. So, and everything else is done while I'm doing this. So it's like, I have to, like, because like when back in the day, or maybe even today, it's like when you would work on like animation or drawing and stuff, you wouldn't eat. Like, you could literally go a whole day without eating. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, just like being in there and just working and just drawing and stuff. It's like you could literally go a whole day without eating. But now, it's like, you're smart enough to be like, okay, I can block out 1 hour of this, then I'll probably go get something to eat, or I'll block out 4 hours and get something to eat. Like, you can literally, because when you're doing that thing now, then that's the thing then. But so I was like, what really goes into building up that ethic? Because early days would just go, we'd wake up, we probably wouldn't even shower, maybe, we'd brush our teeth, maybe, and then, but we'll just work.
Just draw.
And then we would like then it'll be like midday or something, and then we'll go brush our teeth, shower, eat maybe like because it's getting into that time now. But in the beginning, it's like you're just waking up and then boom, you're in the zone. You're going straight to your computer, or you're going to finish your animation work, because at the night time you'll be working, and then you'd be dreaming about the thing that you're working on. Like that level of obsession that we had. And I don't know whether that's the same with other people, because I know that there are people that did animation like us, or did art school like us, but don't do art right now. And I wonder whether they had the level of dedication or focus outside it. Like people got firsts and 2-1s but don't do animation anymore. So what was that grade for necessarily? Was it a grade to get a grade, or was it you with a purpose trying to do something? So we were in animation school, ready to learn, ready to go at a moment's notice. And I started like, because this is like all talking about being your best. So being your best is more so like knowing yourself and knowing the opportunity in front of you, and then going for it.
It was so weird, the process of uni, man, because I don't think I was. I went in it with the right attitude.
Okay.
But I let that attitude taper, and even though like I was still practicing, I learnt skills like concept art. I remember I was so serious about that at that point.
Yeah.
I was actually learning how to paint and digitally and draw digitally, but it was that didn't have that the discipline. I had the attitude but not the discipline. I think more so what it was like of the process. It's that same thing of like I would let I feel this, that and the other.
Okay, so that's been like that's been on your back. That monster has been on your back for a long time.
Very long time. Very, very long time. Like for me now, this whole like life is just about getting the demons off my back for me right now.
Really?
That's like, well, because I can do all these crazy things and these great things, and like obviously, yeah, you've got to do these things.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to orient what I do with regards to getting these demons off my back.
Okay.
Because that's the way I can live. It's not about being happy. It's about having a peaceful life. Because like, there's always going to be stuff that
definitely
gets in your way, that brings you. Like, I'm not trying.
It's funny you talk about that.
I used to be like, oh, I just want to be happy, but it's like that's such a. It's almost a pointless thing to say in a weird way. It's not pointless. That's not the right way to say it either. But there's always going to be things. If your point is to avoid things that make you upset, you've already lost the game. Because the moment you're upset, you feel like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
I would rather have the strength to be peaceful through bad things.
Yeah. That's amazing, yeah.
So now the way I'm going about doing that is just trying to release all the things like people's judgment, my own self-judgment, my discipline, my lack of discipline, trying to... Because I know underneath there, it's not a point of getting discipline. I know I have it. I'm just trying to pull away the things that
you've been there before,
tear me away from that.
You want to swim back to it, basically.
Yeah. And just building and strengthening the muscle. Because I see it as a muscle. Emotional control is a muscle. Like people see... Do you know when people say, I can't help it, yeah? It's rubbish. I genuinely believe that. It's rubbish because it's a practicing muscle. It's not I can't help it. It's I just need to get better at processing my emotions and understanding my emotions, understanding who I am, and what I'm saying and what I'm thinking, and to process that is a practice, is an actual practice, it's a muscle. Because how I am at it in now is because of meditation. Like I'm not saying like I'm completely under emotional control, but I actually understand now the process of being able to just go, whoa. So you feel anxiety or you feel like you can't be bothered, but underneath that, there's the things that you actually want to do that you know will make you feel happy. And actually, happy is not the word. It will make you feel fulfilled, even at a small level, because fulfill sounds like a big word, but when you've done something you know you wanted to do, regardless of how you felt, you feel fulfilled, even on a small level, just from that one thing. That personal integrity of just saying, keeping promises to yourself, and but that, I think that is the best thing to do to build emotional strength. It's just when you make a promise to yourself of something you want to do, regardless of how bad things might get or how hard things might get in a weird way, you just stick that through and make sure. And you might not get it, but at least you stuck through to it until the point when you couldn't do that thing anymore, whatever that may be.
For me, it was like perfectionism. Like the answer that I had to get off my back was like only putting out perfect pieces of work, and then I had to start removing the word perfection from my vocabulary. And then I had to replace it with being my best me, and then my best me gives the best version of the work that I'm doing. So
not this.
It's not this like because
idea of what, like this fixed idea of what that thing's
like,
because
perfection isn't really like it's not really like it's not a thing that you can practice. It's not a skill that makes you get better. It's just you're thinking about what other people will think, and two, you're thinking about all the skills that you don't have yet also. So you have to get better within your skills and then perform. But to get better, you have to practice. And then while you're practicing, you also have to perform. So you have to be able to give of yourself even when you're not at your quote unquote best. So that's why I've done those trainer drawings. Those aren't my best trainer drawings ever. I've even got more that I've never shown because they're my actual trainers that I'm designing. But it's like I have the ability to be my best me and perform and give of myself. So when you're giving of yourself and performing at your best, you're able to start building up a level of understanding of who you are to yourself and who you are to other people. Because as an artist, at the end of the day, you still need to show your work. Because a massive point of just artistry in general was showing. Because in like the base form, it's like you're representing an idea or you're giving an idea, and no matter how that looks in which way area or your idea of perfection, you are still portraying that idea. So being your best and showing your best or working your best, or so you gather the skills necessary. That's really what you're doing. You in your formative years. In your formative years, you're gathering the skills necessary, and then you're working at it. And so so you can't just talk about perfectionism without working at something, because really you have to remove the idea of perfection and introduce the idea of having the best skills and best tools at your disposal, and being okay with whatever tools you've got in front of you to do that thing. So with my fashion illustrations, my first ever fashion illustrations, all I had was a Disney pencil. That was my first fashion illustrations that I put on Instagram. I had a Disney pencil and I had a knife to sharpen it, not even a sharpener or an eraser. So and actually I had an eraser at the end of another pencil. So, and not the actual pencil, the eraser from the tip of the pencil. So those were my first drawings that I put on IG, and they were good ideas because they were part of me representing a character and something that's still with me today. And because that character had an idea and all of these type of things, and bringing it back to reality, it's like, so you work with your best, at your best, and you perform. So you work with your best tools at yourself. You are as you are today, performing in the way that with whatever you've got at your disposal. So you put all of those together and you fuse it, and and that's you showing. So you're showing of yourself who you are in this present state, and no matter who's around you, they will those people will respect what you're giving them, and the people that are going to respect you will find what you're giving them appeasing, because you're representing an idea. That's what a lot of us do. We represent ideas, and like we don't mold ourselves. Well, if we're good, we don't mold ourselves to other people's ideas. We find who we are, and then we give of ourselves so that people can see that it's possible. It's like being an athlete. It's like you're understanding that you've got to work out physically and just have the discipline, have all the skills we're talking about, but in a physical realm. And then that's why the best athletes are so famous and so prolific, because they gave an idea of greatness. So that's what, as an artist, that's what you have to do as well. And as a genius, that's what they have to do as well. Well, I should say we. As a genius, that's what people have. That's what you represent. You're representing certain ideas that allow other people to see that it's possible. Because when you do that, you are adding. So playing a sport might not be it might not give something to time. It might not give something to people 1,000 years in the future, but it will change the mindset of those people right there.
But it kind of does, though.
No, yeah.
It does, because when you look at the way, for example, you just see the way people used to play basketball.
I was talking about something physically, because right now, like if we were all wiped out, everything will change. This is what I'm thinking about, because humans at the end of the day just need to survive. But with the ideas of greatness, that's what we have to portray, certain ideas of greatness. Yeah. So then that gives something to the next, like what we give to the next generation is greatness, and then they work on top of it. And that's what humans constantly do. And because we have the ability to see what people have done before us, and read what people have done before us, and listen to what people have done before us, we can work on top of that. That's why libraries are so important. And libraries of information are so important. That's why the internet is so important, because you can search anything and find it. So those catalogues of information and those catalogues of history allow us to see what greatness is. And in any decade, in the past 100 years, but we can also read about what has happened before us, so that we can continue that greatness and understand. A lot of people relate in certain aspects. Like there's certain great people that I represent or relate to, and certain great people that you relate to, and they can be totally different people. There's some which collide, which would be musically, like me and you have the same taste in great people musically, and then it kind of tapers off into the different aspects of music that we listen to. But what I'm saying is there are great people that show us the way, and then because you're so much as a kid, you're so trying to figure out things, you see that great person and say, oh, and then it's like because people think you're relating to a person, but you're not relating to a person, you're relating to an idea. And that idea shows you can be yourself. And that's why when you're a kid in England or in America, you can decide that you're going to draw. Like if you're a kid in Africa, it's not going to be drawing necessarily. Or if you're, no, wait, it can be. But if you're a kid in a third world country without electricity, your greatness would be giving electricity to your town. Or your greatness would, or if you're one of those kids in the jungle, your greatness would be growing to be the best, strongest, fastest version of yourself, so that you can survive properly. And so, with me as an industrialist,
or even just being able to look after your tribe,
because I thought about this before. It's like, as a designer, what would I be if we didn't have the tools right now?
I get what you're
Would I make would I be the person that makes a pen tool, or would I
it's
be
like the medium
the bow and
almost
arrow?
becomes
irrelevant.
It's
like
which
all
is
the
what is
mediums are
interesting.
irrelevant.
Yeah, which is what's interesting about Kanye, or Kanye.
Yeah.
And people of his ilk is like the medium almost doesn't matter. It's
because people of all that use which other medium still respect him. Well, the greatest people respect him. And the people that want to hate for some strange reason, like, I still don't understand the mindset of those people. I don't feel like it.
I don't know. I feel like it's simpler than we would think.
It is.
It's simple. It's.
Wait,
it may not
what's
just be
simple?
like why they.
Well, as I said, I don't understand the mindset, and don't find myself wanting to understand it. Like, it's like serial killers or pedophiles. Like, you don't need to understand the mindset. It's just like a terrible way to live in your head. So yeah, like those great people represent ideas. Like, cause I really feel like a lot of how we live, like you just said, it's like really simple, but people don't see people don't want to see the simplicity in it. They just want to break it down and try and make it like more difficult than it actually seems. Like, because that's what people have done to great pieces of writing or great people. It's like you need to separate it and just see it as a thing. Like, it's the idea of greatness. Like, if you want to be part of that greatness, then you can. Like, if you want to be part of how to be great within the medium of a certain religion, then that's what you can do for yourself. And if you don't, then there's other things out there. But when it comes down to it, it's like what humans represent is an idea, and when you see someone else living with that idea, then as early as possible you do something to either top it or like continue that legacy of their idea. That's basically it. Like, because that's all talk about being your best self. It's like living to that height and representing greatness in that space. So yeah,
that's lit. No, it's lit. It's lit. I think we're at that time. But yeah, no, it was interesting talk, man.
That was great.
I think we've got some good topics today.
That's amazing.
Yeah, hopefully next time we get to touch on some of the others that we
yeah,
wanted to talk on.
kind of miss. I don't mind that though. That's cool, man. Anyways,
What else?
this has been the Culture and Camaraderie podcast with Damilare, aka NY Typical, on all socials, with
Tyler.
Tyvarious.
Tyvarious. Okay, it's just Tyvarious, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just Tyvarious, bro.
No, Tyvarious. Laxera. LAX_ERA.
Yeah.
Hit me up. Check out the 30-day beat challenge that I'm doing. Currently on day 2. Soon to be day 3. So yeah. Well, this will be day 5, I think, by the time. No, yes, it will be day 5 by the time this comes out on Monday. So
yeah,
there'll be a little stack of beats on there for y'all.
For your head tops.
For your head tops there. But yeah, love, man. Thanks for tuning in.
As per always, this has been the Culture and Camaraderie podcast, and have a blessed day.